I apologize to Laker Nation. Y'all are serious contenders. If they don't make mistakes, they're going to get good shots. The Lakers are not full strength.
Charles Barkley did not just roast the Lakers. He basically said the quiet part out loud. The Lakers can sell history. They can sell purple and gold nostalgia. They can sell LeBron James being LeBron James. And they can sell the idea of Luka Doncic carrying the next era. But what they cannot sell anymore is confusion as a championship plan. And that is why Barkley's comments hit so hard, because he was not just joking for television. He was pointing at the mess and saying this is not a serious contender. This is a franchise stuck between honoring the past and building the future. And when Barkley talks about LeBron, it always becomes bigger than one Lakers season. Because with LeBron, every roster decision turns into a legacy debate. Every playoff loss becomes part of the Jordan argument. Every failed trade, every coaching change, every supporting cast question suddenly gets attached to his name. Barkley understands that, and that is why his latest shot landed with so much force. He was not saying LeBron cannot play anymore. He was saying the Lakers are no longer built around his timeline, and pretending otherwise only makes the chaos louder. The event started with Barkley looking at the Lakers' situation and basically saying LeBron staying in Los Angeles does not help anybody. In his view, the West is too loaded. The Lakers are not close enough, and the franchise has already made its real decision by bringing in Luka Doncic. That is the part that changes everything, because the moment Luka arrived, the Lakers were no longer just LeBron's team trying to squeeze one more title out of his final years. They became a team trying to build around a younger superstar while still carrying the weight, salary, attention, and expectations that come with LeBron James. It's always somebody else's fault. And it bothers me. Listen, you don't always blame other people for your shortcomings. And Barkley's point was simple but brutal. LeBron is not getting younger. The Lakers are not suddenly becoming deeper by emotion alone. And Luka is not the kind of player you trade for just to make him second in line. You do not bring in a franchise player like that and then act like the old power structure still runs everything the same way. Barkley basically looked at the situation and said, pick a direction. Either this is Luka's team now, or the Lakers are going to waste another season trying to make two timelines work at the same time. That is where the numbers make this even more interesting. The Lakers were not a bad regular season team. They won 53 games, finished near the top of the West, and still had enough star power to make people pay attention every night. LeBron, even at 41, still averaged over 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. Those are not washed numbers. Those are still high-level numbers from a player who has been in the league longer than some current players have been alive. But Barkley's argument is not about whether LeBron is still good. It's about whether LeBron is still good enough to be the main reason a team survives the West. And that is a different conversation. Because in the West, being good is not enough. You have Oklahoma City running with young legs and elite defense. You have teams built with size, speed, shooting, and depth. You have younger stars who can play 40 minutes and still pressure the rim in the fourth quarter. The Lakers have names, but the playoffs do not care about names when the legs get heavy and the rotations get short. That is exactly why Barkley's roast sounded harsh, but not random. He watched the Lakers get exposed in the same areas people had warned about all season. LeBron is wearing down. Let me tell you that. LeBron's wearing down. You know, I saw all these idiots and fools on television. He played great for a 41-year-old in Game 1 and Game 2. And he played great in Game 1, too. But when you get older, the longer the series goes, his efficiency is coming down. The center issue became one of the clearest examples of Lakers chaos. The franchise tried to fix the middle by going after Mark Williams, but that deal collapsed after the physical. Suddenly, the Lakers were stuck trying to survive with a roster that didn't fully match the stars it had just committed to. When you have Luka, you need a big who can finish, protect the rim, and clean up defensive mistakes. When you have LeBron at this age, you need size and depth so he doesn't have to cover every crack. Instead, the Lakers looked like a team that knew the problem, almost solved it, then walked into the playoffs with the same hole still open. And this is where Barkley's criticism of the Lakers becomes connected to his criticism of LeBron's legacy. He has always pushed back against the idea that LeBron's career should be judged only by the stats and longevity. Barkley has often leaned toward Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant in legacy debates because in his mind, LeBron's team-building era comes with questions. He has looked at the super teams, the movement from city to city, and the constant pressure on front offices, and said that has to be part of the discussion, too. So when the Lakers look chaotic, Barkley sees another chapter in that same story. To Barkley, this is not just LeBron needs more help. He's heard that line for years. Cleveland needed more help. Miami was built with help. Cleveland got help again. The Lakers traded for Anthony Davis and won a title. Then the Lakers kept reshuffling, changing pieces, changing coaches, changing the conversation every year. And now after another pivot, Luka is in the building. So Barkley's message cuts deep because it challenges the entire LeBron defense. At some point, if every situation needs another move, another star, another adjustment, another excuse, then critics will ask whether that becomes part of the legacy, too. And the Lakers proved what I keep saying, the Lakers stink. Plain and simple. We have to talk about him because the media is infatuated with the Lakers. But to be fair, LeBron's side of the debate is powerful. He has played at an elite level for more than 2 decades. He has won championships with 3 franchises. He became the all-time scoring leader while also being one of the greatest passers ever. He has carried weak teams, controlled playoff series, and stayed relevant across different eras of basketball. Most players declined quietly. LeBron has declined into still being better than most starters in the league. That is why Barkley's shots always create fire. Because even when the criticism has a point, it is being aimed at a player whose career is almost impossible to compare. Still, Barkley is not attacking the full career. He is attacking the current reality. And the current reality is that the Lakers cannot keep acting like LeBron's presence alone makes them a real title threat. That used to be enough to scare teams. 10 years ago, if LeBron had another star beside him, the whole conference had to pay attention. But now, the question is not whether LeBron can give you a great game. The question is whether he can give you 4 rounds of championship basketball while carrying a roster that still has holes. Barkley is basically saying the answer is no. Here's the part nobody is talking about. Luka's arrival did not just give the Lakers a future. It exposed the uncomfortable truth about their present. If Luka is the future, then everything has to be built around him. The pace, the spacing, the center, the defensive pieces, the salary decisions, the late-game offense. All of it has to fit Luka's prime. But if LeBron is still treated like the main character, then the Lakers are stuck trying to serve 2 different basketball realities. One is about maximizing a 26-year-old superstar. The other is about respecting a 41-year-old legend. That sounds beautiful for headlines, but messy on the court. In the first half, yeah, you would think with the veterans they have on this team, LeBron and Smart, in a game of this magnitude that they would consciously say, hey, we need to take care of the ball to close our game. Careless pass right there by the king. And Barkley loves attacking messy basketball. That has always been his lane. He can joke. He can roast. He can exaggerate. But underneath the comedy, he usually targets something real. With the Lakers, the real target is identity. Are they a Luka team with LeBron as the veteran legend? Are they a LeBron team with Luka as the next face? Are they trying to win now, or are they trying to transition without hurting feelings? The problem is the NBA does not reward emotional balance. It rewards clarity. The best teams know who they are. The Lakers too often look like they are trying to protect everyone's image at the same time. That is why the LeBron legacy angle gets dangerous, because Jordan's case is built around finality and dominance. 6 finals, 6 wins, no Game 7 in the finals, 1 franchise image in Chicago, and an aura that still controls basketball debates decades later. LeBron's case is built differently. It is built on longevity, all-around production, impossible consistency, and winning in multiple places. But the weakness critics attack is movement and roster control. Barkley knows that. So when he says the Lakers should turn it over to Luka, he is not just talking roster management. He is poking the old wound. Has LeBron's greatness always needed too much construction around it? Now that may sound unfair, Because every superstar needs help. Jordan had Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson, Rodman, elite defenders, shooters, and a system. Kobe had Shaq, then Pau Gasol, then Phil Jackson again. No legend wins alone. But Barkley's argument is about perception. Jordan's teams felt like a dynasty built around one central force. Kobe's Lakers felt like a war of personality and skill, but still connected to one franchise mythology. LeBron's career feels more like chapters. And every chapter comes with a new front office pressure cooker. That does not erase his greatness, but it gives critics like Barkley a lane to question the way that greatness was built. At the beginning of the season, they were no good. Do you think they're good now? I think they're solid. I don't think they're a contender. But solid from you is a major upgrade. Listen, man. They were awful. They were awful to start the season. They've been awful for the last 2 or 3 years. In fairness, the Lakers are the perfect place for that debate to explode, because Los Angeles does not do quiet transitions. This is the franchise of Magic, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, Wilt, West, and now LeBron. Every star who plays there gets measured against banners, not regular season numbers. So when LeBron puts up strong stats but the Lakers fall short, people don't say, great season for his age. They say, did they win? That is the burden of being in Los Angeles. Barkley understands that too. In LA, the standard is not survival. The standard is a parade. That is also why Luka changes the pressure. Luka is not just a talented teammate. He is a franchise reset button. He is young enough to build around for years and good enough to carry an offense right now. But Luka also comes with questions: conditioning, defense, late-game fatigue, leadership, and whether his style can win at the highest level. So the Lakers aren't simply handing the keys to a finished product. They're making a bet. Barkley's roast hits both sides because he's basically saying, if Luka is the bet, then stop pretending LeBron is still the whole casino. And for LeBron, that creates a final career dilemma. Does he stay in LA and accept that the franchise is slowly becoming Luka's team? Does he chase one more ring somewhere else and risk giving critics another reason to say he always needed a new situation? Does he retire as a Laker even if the team is not a true contender? Every option affects the narrative. That is why Barkley saying LeBron should stay is bigger than just basketball advice. It forces LeBron fans and LeBron critics to ask what matters more now: loyalty, control, winning, or legacy protection. The wild part is that Barkley might be saying what the Lakers front office can't say publicly. They can't come out and say LeBron is no longer the centerpiece. They can't disrespect one of the biggest stars in league history. They can't make it sound like they are pushing him out. But their basketball decisions tell the story. Luka is the future. The roster has to be younger, more athletic, and more balanced. LeBron can still help, but the franchise cannot build every decision around squeezing one more miracle out of him. Barkley just said the uncomfortable version on television. And that is why this story will get views, because it's not just about Barkley being funny. It's about a real power shift. For years, LeBron has controlled the room wherever he played. In Cleveland, everything revolved around him. In Miami, even with Wade and Bosh, LeBron became the center. In his second Cleveland run, the franchise moved how he needed it to move. In Los Angeles, even with Anthony Davis, LeBron was still the biggest voice. But now, for the first time in a long time, there is another superstar whose timeline matters more than his. That is not disrespect, that is age, business, and reality arriving at the same time. And Barkley's legacy shot is effective because he's not saying LeBron failed as a player. He is saying the LeBron era in Los Angeles has not produced enough beyond the bubble championship to justify pretending everything is still fine. Lakers fans can defend that 2020 title, and they should, because every team played under the same conditions. But after that, the franchise has lived in drama. Injuries, trades, roster mistakes, playoff exits, coaching changes, and constant debates about help. Barkley looks at that and says, at some point, the story cannot always be about what LeBron needs. At some point, the story has to be about what the Lakers are becoming. So the question becomes, was Barkley roasting or was he warning them? Because if the Lakers keep trying to balance nostalgia with reality, they may waste Luka's early years in Los Angeles. And if LeBron stays while the team quietly shifts away from him, the final chapter of his career could look awkward instead of powerful. Nobody wants to see one of the greatest players ever become a ceremonial piece on a team that is not close enough to win. But nobody wants to see the Lakers sabotage their future because they're afraid of having the hard conversation either. That is the tension Barkley created. He forced the Lakers, LeBron fans, and NBA media to stop hiding behind highlights. Yes, LeBron can still make incredible passes. Yes, he can still score 25 on the right night. Yes, he still brings attention, leadership, and global power. But championships are not built on respect alone. They are built on legs, defense, depth, chemistry, and timing. And right now, the timing of LeBron James and the timing of the Los Angeles Lakers may no longer match. And that is where the debate gets personal. If LeBron leaves, critics will say he ran from the transition. If he stays, critics will say he is blocking Luka's takeover. If he takes a smaller role, people will say the era is over. If he demands more control, people will say Barkley was right all along. There may be no perfect ending here. There may be only the ending that hurts the least. But Barkley did what Barkley always does. He stripped away the polite language and turned the Lakers' quiet problem into a national argument. So now the question is not whether Barkley went too far. The real question is whether he told the truth too early. Are the Lakers brave enough to become Luka's team while LeBron is still in the building? Is LeBron willing to finish his career without being the center of the franchise universe? And when people look back at this final Lakers chapter, will they see it as proof of LeBron's unmatched longevity or as the moment his legacy debate gave Jordan fans one more weapon? Because if the Lakers choose feelings over direction, Barkley's roast will not age like a hot take. It will age like a warning.